So, it is Christmas Eve. You've just seen what number 2 on my list is. I hope you're ready for number 1 tomorrow on Christmas Day. But before that, I want to just give out a few honourable mentions of some games that didn't quite make the list, but have every potential to have been on this list. But before I do, I want to just go back and remind you of the rest of the countdown and all of that stuff. So at 25 we had Wolverine, 24 was Operation Flashpoint Red River, 23 was Grid, 22 Mafia 2, 21 was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, number 20 was Splinter Cell Conviction, number 19 was Borderlands, number 18 was Dead Rising 2, number 17 was, if I can find it on this thing, Dead Space. Number 16 was Batman Arkham City. Number 15 was Dead Island. Number 14 was LA Noire. Number 13 was Assassin's Creed 2. Number 12 was Metro 2033. Alan Wake was at number 11. Number 10 was Fear. Number 9 was FIFA 13. Number 8 was Hitman Absolution. Number 7 was Red Dead Redemption. Number 6 was BioShock. Number 5 was Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 4 was Dishonored. Number 3 was Fallout 3. And number 2 was Far Cry 3. So, we've got number 1 coming tomorrow, but now on to the honourable mentions. Now, as I said, these are games that didn't make it onto the list, but still were great games and had every chance to be on this list. They were just beat out by better games, pretty much. So, first on my honourable mentions list, I have Homefront. Homefront was a sort of first-person set in the future, sort of after the US and Korea, I think, had a war, and then Korea sort of took over. And it was a really good game. It was alright, I'd say. Actually, it's not a really good game. It was an alright game. It's sort of I got it day one, which is surprising since it wasn't really a huge game. So, and me and my friend played it, and the multiplayer was alright, pretty good. The story was okay, it's kind of lost on me, and the gameplay was just, it was alright. It was just pretty much your generic first-person shooter, but it was still okay. Next, Medal of Honor, not the World War II ones, the modern ones, the first modern one just renamed to Medal of Honor. That was really good, I liked that. It was kind of nitty-gritty. Very, very dark in a sense for a military shooter, funnily enough, and it was just really fun, really sort of burly. It was kind of alpha male-ish because you had these giant guys, so it was pretty much an alpha male first-person shooter. But it was good, very fun. Multiplayer was fun. Then next we have Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Now, I am a fan of the Ghost Recon series. I've played them all up to now, which was Future Soldier. And Future Soldier was pretty fun because it was, it had that invisibility thing, the camo. The camo was really fun to use. It had really good upgrades from the last ones, which was Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, which I actually enjoyed. But apart from that, it was very good gameplay. Not really much in terms of story, I'd say, but the gameplay was good. Halo 3. Now, there'd be a lot of people saying this definitely should have been on my list, but not really. I'm not really a big fan of Halo, but still, it was a fun game to play. The multiplayer was alright, didn't play much of it. I'm not really that good. I think the only thing I played multiplayer-wise was Infection or whatever it is, where you had these silly little games where you'd have one team being sort of zombies, in quotes, and to get the humans, in quotes. So, Halo 3 story was alright, can't really remember much of it, but it was fine. Then we have Condemned, horror game. Not many horror games were on my top 25 list, but this was really fun. It got me scared quite a few times, especially with the mannequins. If any of you have played Condemned, you'll know of that part. It was kind of a messed up story, didn't really understand it. It was quite an old game, to be fair, so, you know, graphics-wise, it wasn't really that pretty, and its gameplay was quite clunky, but, you know, the combat wasn't really that fun. But it still had good horror, which was what it was intended to do, so... next we have another horror-ish game, I guess you could say. That is The Darkness. I played this a while ago. It was a really fun game to use the sort of the darkness, these two tentacle monster things with like snakes that you had on the side that could attack people and stuff. It was really fun to do that. It was really fun to dual wield. The story was quite interesting, I guess, with the whole his girlfriend and the mob, the mafia and stuff like that. So that was really fun. Deus Ex Human Revolution, I believe it's called. Don't kill me if I got it wrong. But yeah, that was quite fun. It was just a random game I decided to pick up and play. Kind of like the whole sort of RPG elements where you talk to different people, you'd have side quests and stuff like that, sort of set in a sort of cyberpunk sort of quite style and setting. It was really fun to do all these sort of things. I like it had stealth aspects and all sort of that. Pretty much that's it. Then there came Rage, which was made by id Software, published by Bethesda. And Rage was pretty fun. It was the first game by id in a long time, I believe. So I was kind of pumped for it. I was like, yes, this better be good. It's an id Software game, and I love them because of Doom and stuff like that. And then when I played it, it sort of... I hyped up a bit too much, so it was kind of a meh going into it, but then it started picking up, you know, with all these different characters. The art style was pretty fun, and it was sort of cool gameplay to shoot all these people away with all these different weapons. But then it sort of got confusing with the story. I didn't understand the story in the slightest. I still don't. I don't know what happened. So, yeah, moving on, we have Arcania. I think it's called Gothic 4. And this decision to get this was that I felt like I really enjoyed games with RPG elements in them. I really enjoy the Elder Scrolls series. I really enjoy the Fallout series. And so I thought, you know, I really need to pick up a game that is a true role-playing game. And so I got Arcania and played that. It was quite fun, quite basic combat, fighting, nice sort of like what I've played recently, which is Lord of the Rings War in the North, where you get different items to pick up and go through. It was quite a linear thing. It was sort of played off. It sort of looked like it was open world, but it wasn't really. You sort of went down this linear path of locations that were just quite open to explore. So sort of like Lord of the Rings War in the North, and you could upgrade your character by putting on different armour, getting different weapons, getting different shields, getting all these sort of different things. And if any of you know what RPGs are, you know, talk to people, get side quests, all that sort of stuff, it was pretty okay in all of those areas. So then next we have Fable 2. Now again, some people will probably be saying this should have been on my list instead of a few others, say like Wolverine or something, but you know, the Fable series, I've played 2 and I've played 3, and it's good, it's alright, it's good. Fable 2 it was alright combat, quite fun, it was quite humorous in parts. I liked exploring the world of Albion. I loved the little dog. It was fun to interact with the dog and do all these sort of things with the dog, but everything else sort of got lost on me. I think a large chunk of the story I just forgot. I pretty much understand the beginning and the ending. That's it. Now, moving on to Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. This could be either 1 or 2, because both of them were pretty good. I enjoy Star Wars. I really like the Star Wars franchise, and so I wanted to play this purely because it was just it was new, I'd say, because all the others have been sort of adaptations of the movies and stuff like this, whereas this was just plucked out of nowhere new sort of IP. So you had this new sort of character that you played as, Starkiller, I believe his name was, and you played as him, and you were sort of the apprentice to Darth Vader, so you were pretty much playing on the dark side. And so it was really fun to do all these sort of moves and force powers and stuff, I guess. Then we have WWE 2K14. Now, I really enjoy wrestling games pretty much. And then WWE 2K14 came out, and it was just a very, very good improvement on pretty much the rest of the series. They improved a lot of things, they made things better. I think they took out a few things that they shouldn't have, but they did include a lot of other things that were really good. I'm not really going to go into detail of it because it's a wrestling game, there's not really much to say about it, but, you know, it's just an honourable mention. And then Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway. Now, I enjoyed this because it was kind of like, it was sort of like World at War for Call of Duty for the Brothers in Arms series, and it was really fun to use cover systems and stuff, and this cinematic effect if you shot someone or threw a grenade or did something or blew something up. It was really fun to see these cinematic moments in game instead of like in a cutscene and all sorts. It was really fun to do all this sort of stuff in a different style, because, you know, you had the typical Call of Duty and the Medal of Honors with their World War II settings, and then Brothers in Arms really did it in a different way, and so I sort of enjoyed that. So that's it for my honourable mentions that didn't have any sort of franchise in the top 25. So I'm going to move on to the honourable mentions of games that couldn't be in the top 25 because I had already included a game from the franchise. So we have the first Dead Rising, because I included Dead Rising 2 in my top 25, that was good. Assassin's Creed 1 and Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, they didn't make it in the list, but they deserve an honourable mention. Fallout New Vegas, that deserves an honourable mention. Call of Duty 4 does. Modern Warfare 3, I guess, does. The second Grid, that deserves an honourable mention. What else did I include? I don't think there's anything else. Oh, Arkham Asylum. That deserves an honourable mention. Fear 2. That deserves an honourable mention. Operation Flashpoint, Dragon Rising, because I included Red River. Bioshock 2, definitely. Dead Space 2 deserves one. I'll tell you one thing that I didn't include in the original honourable mentions, and that is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas. That was a pretty good game, I really enjoyed that, I really had fun with the multiplayer. And I guess that's about it for honourable mentions, so yeah. So, hope you're all looking forward to tomorrow, Christmas Day. I hope you've enjoyed the list so far. We're right up at the end. I hope you've enjoyed everything. I also recommend you go check out Carry On Plays and his list, because his is ending as well tomorrow, and you know, it's going to be really exciting to see what he's chosen as a whole, and it's just been a really good journey, I'd say, into the last generation of consoles. So yeah, I will see you all tomorrow on a very Merry Christmas Day.